So it looks like things are heating up over at the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There's online drama between Monica, her mom, and Angie, and Lisa Barlow. And we have to talk about Nene Leakes reuniting with Bethenny and Cynthia Bailey. And is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City the new girl in town, garnering only second to Vanderpump Rules? All right, girl. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So there's been a lot of drama stirring in regards to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We'll get to that in a second. But first, I just want to talk about these recent photos that have surfaced online between Nene Leakes hanging out with Bethenny again at her home and hanging out with Cynthia Bailey. First of all, Bethenny posted on her social media a group shot. Melissa Rivers was there, Rachel Leviss from Vanderpump Rules was there, and Nene Leakes. And she says, a dinner just because. Thanks for a beautiful night, ladies. I'm still clearing up all the spilled tea. And then she says to listen to her podcast. So I'm wondering what exactly was going on here, but this is very interesting. You may recall Nene has talked about going to Bethenny's home, I believe on her YouTube channel, and talking about how massive the estate is. And Bethenny recently said on her podcast, talking about all the drama and Countess Luann talking about her and her failures. And she talks about how important failures are for anyone trying to have success in the world. But then she says she makes 3 times as much as she did when she was on Housewives. I was like, oh, okay, Bethenny. But then I really believed it because the way that Nene talked about when she went to Bethenny's home, she said she couldn't believe it. She's like, we both started at the same time. And I was like, look at what this woman has amassed. So Nene was at this situation. It makes me wonder what was said. I do find it interesting that Melissa Rivers was here as well. You know, Joan Rivers' daughter and a producer in the industry. So not only that, I want to talk about this other picture because a lot of you have been having a reaction at the reunion of Nene Leakes and Cynthia Bailey. The friendship contract has been renewed, maybe. So, you know, in the most recent interview that Nene did with Carlos King, she talked about her issues with Cynthia and how Cynthia is not who you think she is. Then Cynthia came out and said, well, if you created all of these wonderful things on Real Housewives of Atlanta, do it again.
Don't be rude. I'm sorry, what? Don't be rude.
Okay, she didn't say it that shady. I just added a little funk to it. I added a little more sauce. Well, so no one expected to see a reunion between these two, at least not this soon. So Nene posted on her social media, listen, child, I told y'all I stepped out the other night and bumped into several other people, but what I didn't tell you is that I bumped into the Cynthia Bailey, honey. She says, when I tell you, I had to read her down. No, really, y'all. Y'all know I can't hold a grudge for too long. We literally laughed our asses off. I am talking burst out loud ghetto laughter, honey. So a lot of people have been having mixed reactions. Some people are like, yes, I love to see it. Some people are also saying, like I feel, how long is this going to last until they fall out again? Because this is not the first time that we've seen these two reunite. I think the last time I saw them reunite was after Greg's passing. And I was like, okay, that's nice to see that, you know, people are able to put their stuff aside and really show up for each other. And I thought Nene would probably have just left it at that. But very much like Tamar, I just tread lightly with Nene in these particular situations. I do believe that Cynthia sincerely would like peace between the two. But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping in this new chapter of Nene's life that, yes, these two can at least have cordial friendship. They don't need to be friends. I don't think they could ever be friends. I don't even think the friendship contract has been renewed. Okay? But this was nice to see. It's nice to have peace in the world. All right? But there's no peace for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So before we get into what Salt Lake City has going on now and how Monica is carrying the show on her back, all right? So The Wrap wrote this article this past week talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and their ratings. As you know, many streaming networks never, ever release their ratings. However, NBC Universal has been very strategic when they want to decide to share their streaming numbers and how well their shows are doing. And they do it only for particular shows. So I found this article very interesting that they were releasing the numbers for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because you may recall, if you see some of our friends like TV Deets or Ratings Bravo, them posting the ratings of these shows, the ratings for Salt Lake City have been mid. Okay, they haven't been great. All right, it's actually been better in the early seasons of Salt Lake City. But I've told you, I've loved the first 2 seasons. I hated last season. I feel like this season they've come back strong, but not according to these numbers. I do not believe these numbers at all, in my humble opinion. So The Wrap writes this. They said the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4 is on track to hit a series ratings high. The Wrap can reveal exclusively. They said the Bravo reality show, which returned for its latest season on September 5th and just aired its 6th episode, is currently averaging 1.9 million total viewers and 1.1 million demo viewers among adults 18 to 49. That is the ideal demo for advertisers. And they're saying this is across platforms within its first week of viewing, according to the Nielsen Live Plus 7-day figures. They said in terms of demo viewers, the 4th season has added 195,000 viewers, up 20% from last season's multi-platform 7-day viewing. The new installment also added 225 total viewers so far, a 13% increase from season 3. They said the season so far, whose episodes are able to stream the next day on Peacock, is up 134% in terms of viewing on Peacock when compared to last season's total viewership. With figures from its first 4 episodes on Peacock, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City currently ranks as the 2nd most watched Bravo original in terms of demo and total viewers, behind only the explosive 10th season of Vanderpump Rules, which surrounded the affair between Tom Sandoval and Rachel Leviss.
Lies! The lies!
And see.
That's where they lost me, because I was like, okay, maybe, but we knew that the whole scandal over at Vanderpump Rules broke all kinds of records, and it was connected to a whole scandal. I love this current season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. However, I'm also able to be like, okay, y'all are BSing us. There is no way that you guys made such a huge jump from last season. And look, I love Mary Cosby too on the show, but even Mary Cosby is not enough to bring the boys to the yard to watch this show. And I know quite a few people don't watch the live viewers. So those live viewer numbers, yes, I expect they're not going to be in the millions. However, it is some indication of what people are interested in. And I know quite a few more people are watching things on streaming apps, specifically Peacock. But you're not going to tell me that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is only 2nd to Vanderpump Rules? And the reason why I don't believe that is not just based off of live viewers or streaming. It's also based off of social media interaction, which is something that Bravo also takes into account. And as someone that reviews and covers a lot of these shows, I have an indication based off of my own analytics on what people are gravitating more towards. And a lot of people have said, you know, Bravo, y'all are really very picky and choosy when you want to release your numbers for certain shows. This also feels like a publicity stunt to get people more interested, because people were saying, okay, are y'all going to release the numbers for Potomac? Are y'all going to release the numbers for Atlanta? I know Candy said during the season of Atlanta, you know, a lot of people were looking at the live viewer numbers and were like, Atlanta's falling apart based off those live viewer numbers. But she's like, you know, with streaming and everything like that, we're doing very well. I believe it, because on average, Atlanta was averaging over 700,000 live viewers, not including DVR, not including Peacock. How come we never got a press release for this? Bravo, NBC Universal? And based off of those live viewers, it would shock me that their numbers would do a lot better on streaming if Salt Lake City is doing better on streaming. And then a lot of you were saying, when I did a quick video on this, a short form video, where like, maybe Nene was right. They don't want Atlanta to do well in the public eye, even though Atlanta is that girl. I think Kenya also said, when they were talking about the promo photo shoot, I think from last season, how people had said over at Bravo, the executives, you guys don't need promo. People are going to watch your show. until they needed to start doing promo for Atlanta. They just relied on people just show up for Atlanta. So Atlanta already was not getting the same level of respect and attention that these other shows that needed a lot of that. Atlanta just sort of like carried itself. And I still believe, and I'm not just basing this off my own analytics. I speak to other folks that cover these housewives stuff. Atlanta is still that girl. No matter how you feel about these last couple of seasons, people still talk about it. People still engage with it. People still watch. So save me on this. And shout out to The Wrap. This is no offense to you. You guys have a job to do. When someone calls you and they say, here's your exclusive, tell people these numbers are doing well. And I feel like every time we get these types of stories, it's based off of people are already saying, you know, Salt Lake City is not doing well. They need to cancel Salt Lake City. But I feel like a lot of us, we've loved this season. I feel like the season's doing strong. I like the new addition of Monica. But I don't believe that the effect of Mary Cosby, who I enjoy on the show, and Monica have sparked these levels of numbers. But I could be wrong.
Women.
What do you think? Speaking of Monica, so you know we did our recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City yesterday. So if you missed it, be sure to check that out. I told you that I feel like she's bringing a lot. I didn't love Monica's behavior. However, Monica took to her social media to address that scene and fight with her mom. So this is what Monica posted on her Instagram, captioning this. She says, "Say what you want about me, being a whore, a rat, disrespectful to Linda, a homewrecker, spoiled, poor, broke, damn, an assistant, or whatever you want to say about me. I let everybody run with whatever, but I don't play when it comes to my daughters." She says, "I made sure that they were not there for that situation. That did not happen in front of my children. Go through the stills." So she does post the stills from the scene between her mom. For those that did not see the scene, she had a big fight with her mom over at Angie's Greek Easter brunch. And a lot of people had different feelings about it. Some people felt like Monica went overboard. She was disrespectful. I felt uncomfortable because it did feel like the children were there, the way that the scene was edited. Well, she says this. She says, "I let people say whatever they want to say, and I go off on me as they sit there and judge me for going off on others. The irony." She says, "I understand I opened up my life to be judged by outsiders that truly do not see 99% of a situation." She says, "However, what I will not allow is people saying things about me acting away in front of my children. I did not. I did not want the combo between Angie and I done with my girls present, and they were not." She says all of the children were downstairs doing Easter festivities during the entire interaction. And yes, they had an Easter egg hunt that my girls did enjoy. Sidebar, as we see them leaving, we hear, and again, this could be TV magic. I've heard about that before in reality TV. You hear one of her daughters say, "Oh, what about the Easter egg hunt?" Being fair. Look, you know I don't take sides. I twerk on a fence. Get the merch right now, houseofkempire.com. She then says, "None of that conversation between Angie and my mother happened with my daughters present or any children for that matter." She says, "There's a ton more to clarify from that day and what happened, and I cannot wait to bring light to it all." I cannot wait for this reunion because finally this Salt Lake City reunion will be worth watching just because of Monica. And then Mary in a corner like this. Oh, did you guys say something? Well, of course, Angie was in the comment section on Twitter calling out Monica for not giving the full story. She's claiming that Monica threw a shoe and almost hit a kid, and then Lisa Barlow, I don't believe it. Look, it's hard to believe either one of these people because, of course, they're writing for each other. They're writing for each other, okay? But Angie says that Monica threw a shoe that almost hit a kid. Almost hit Lisa's kid? Okay, let me just read a little bit of what is being said on social media right now because Angie claims that she hurt herself at Angie's home. And she posted photos of her bruises. So Monica says this. She says, "Angie, you are a liar. Be just like you lied about meeting me once. You and I both know the kids were in the basement, you sick POS." She says, "Go get your house up to code, and I'm sending you my ER bill after falling down your basement stairs because you didn't have a railing." She then says, almost hit your niece in response to what Angie was saying. You are the biggest freaking a-hole. You know damn well what happened. I left your house with bumps, bloody, and bruised. She says, I should sue your ass for not having your home to code, you F. Not to code. She then says, let's talk about the head injury since I got one at your home on your stairs and had to leave to get a freaking CAT scan. You are sick. She says, and let's talk about how everyone called me after finding out I fell down your stairs and went to the ER except you and Lisa. She says, Meredith even tried to send my family meals. Angie, shut the F up. And then she posts the photos of after she fell. She says, after falling down Angie's stairs at the Greek Easter because you had no railing, everyone's saying I left my mom. Yes, I did. And went straight to the hospital. And she knew I fell down the stairs. My combo with her on the couch was after the fall. Editing is a hell of a thing. Well, now Monica's mom is speaking out. Monica's mom, y'all. So Monica's mom, I don't know if this is necessarily her. She's claiming to be her. It could be her. Look. So known as LD Millionaire on Twitter, she says, Monica begged me to do this reality show with her. Begged. I didn't want to do it. She told me all I had to do was cook and speak Portuguese. How did she return the favor? She did me dirty. Meanwhile, I would never compete with my only child unless it's sports. I'm too smart to try to go up against Monica. She chewed me up and spit me out. Lastly, I never abandoned her. I always put her needs above my own, even in her adulthood. I'm not a perfect human, but I am a devoted mother and Vovo. God bless us, everyone. Look, I have mixed feelings about that last episode, and I've said this during my recap. However, Monica's mom, I feel like there is some truth to whatever issues that you and Monica have had over the years. But y'all already know, especially if you're a mother and daughter, how complicated that relationship can be. I don't think that Monica's mom is innocent. I don't think that Monica handled that situation maybe the most ideal, but I also get that she felt triggered literally in that moment by her mom not having her back, especially against these women. The last thing you want, even if you're not the closest with your family, the last thing that you want on a national stage where, according to Bravo, millions of people are watching, your mom not have your back against these women that are trying to throw you under a bus on camera. The last person you expect not to have your back is your mom. And I know the mom in that instance, it seemed as if she was trying to settle the situation, calm the situation down, but it could have been handled very differently on both sides. On both sides, it could have been handled very differently. I think for a lot of us, based off the edit, it felt as if the kids were in the room at the time. We didn't realize that they were in another space in the house during that argument. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to all of the news, all of the Bravo-related news. Do you believe these Real Housewives of Salt Lake City numbers, despite how we do enjoy the show? Do you believe the numbers? And what do you think about the possibility of reunion between Cynthia Bailey and Nene Leakes? And what exactly was going on over at Bethenny's home with all of these former reality stars? Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter. I got the